Have you ever wondered what's next for one of the park's most iconic locations? Today we're diving into the exciting developments potentially looking to be happening on the former site of the legendary Vortex roller coaster of Kings Island. From its thrilling history to the latest updates, stay tuned to discover what's brewing behind the scenes in Ohio. So before we get started with this huge theme park news update on Chell Chats, make sure you do like, comment, subscribe, click the notification bell so you never miss another video. We're on the road to 3,000 subscribers and 500,000 views. Let's get there as soon as physically possible. We need to get there as soon as possible. We're getting close to that 500,000 view mark. It's so close, I can almost touch it and taste it. And for now, ladies and gentlemen, let's get into this video and let's talk about everything that looks like it could be happening at Kings Island. Before we talk about what's going on in the present, we have to rewind to the glory days of Vortex. This legendary roller coaster opened back in 1987, built by Aerodynamics and the same company that built classic coasters like Magnum XL 200. Vortex was a true record breaker in its time, featuring 6 inversions, the most in the world when it debuted. Riders loved the vertical loops, corkscrews and boomerang elements that made Vortex one of the most thrilling and technically advanced rides of its era. With a towering height of 148 feet and a top speed of 55 miles per hour, Vortex gave over 45 million rides throughout its 33-year run. It was loved by generations of thrill seekers, becoming a staple of Kings Island's skyline. Vortex wasn't just a ride, it was a pioneer in steel looping roller coasters, offering riders a unique experience when you're on the track, giving a sense of flight and intense exposure to the park's vibrant scenery. Over its 30-odd year run, Vortex entertained millions of guests, earning accolades for its innovative design and exhilarating experience, becoming an iconic signature ride at Kings Island, embodying the park's commitment to delivering top-tier thrills. However, all good things must come to an end, and in 2019, Kings Island announced the retirement of Vortex, marking the end of an era. In fact, we even produced a video on the Old Coaster Chow channel, which in fact detailed exactly what was going on at the time. Roll the clip.
It feels a lot like, if you've played Telltale games, you'll know that you make one choice, but then like if someone dies and you save someone else, the person you save is going to die anyway. That's the situation with Kings Island. It was between Vortex and Firehawk. They got rid of Firehawk, and now they're getting rid of Vortex anyway. It feels weird. It feels a weird decision to make, but I can see why they've done it. Parks are going to develop. Parks are going to move forward. It seems like they're going to be running 14 coasters. However, that won't stop them to create 15. So I think it's going to be a few years before the next big project at Kings Island after Orion opens next year.
While fans were saddened by the news, the park assured everyone that the site would continue to evolve, paving the way for new and exciting attractions. Vortex left an indelible mark on Kings Island's legacy. From merchandise to fan art, the spirit of Vortex continues to live on in the hearts of enthusiasts. Its influence can be seen in the design of newer coasters, inspiring a generation of ride engineers and theme park aficionados. Fast forward to 2024. And the former Vortex site is buzzing with activity as something new may be in the early stages of construction for Kings Island. Screamscape was told that a number of metal stalks was pounded into the ground and pathways around the plot of the former Vortex roller coaster, with a number visible along the pathway from the Jukebox Diner to the iconic wooden roller coaster, The Beast. A potential new attraction in this location would not only fill a physical gap but also an emotional one for fans who missed the iconic Vortex. For years, the site has been a reminder of Kings Island's legacy of innovation and thrills. Whatever replaces Vortex will likely pay homage to that history while introducing a new generation of guests to unforgettable experiences. So before we talk about some potential replacements for Vortex, we had to talk about the potential idea that something's coming into the site of the former Vortex roller coaster. Now, we spoke about Vortex back when the ride was first retired in 2019, and Vortex will always be and forever will be a historic ride for Kings Island. It was one of the originating steel roller coasters. It was one of the iconic first major extreme thrill ride for Kings Island. It was one of the big ones back in its early days, and Vortex will always live on in the memories of fans and supporters throughout the world. Now, Vortex is a very, very good ride, or it looked a very, very good ride. Obviously, it will have had its bumpiness at times in its later years, its mechanical problems down the line, but overall, Vortex was a signature ride for the park, and Kings Island will always honour the memory of Vortex. And I think that if something is to happen on the site of Vortex in terms of a potential replacement down the line for 2026 or even 2027, I think that Vortex getting a replacement potentially is massive news for Kings Island. And I do think the new big project for the park is underway, potentially. And I think that it's going to be a wonderful investment. Now, what it's going to be, we don't know yet. We don't know anything at this stage. All we know is what Screamscape has reported on. And if indeed activity is starting around that site, you'd best believe it's something for 2026 at the very earliest, or 2027. So in terms of what's next for that location, let's start predicting and let's start making some guesses, because trust me, I've got two massive guesses as to what I would like to see in that location. So prediction number one is a wing coaster from Bolliger and Mabillard. A wing coaster would be a fitting addition to the former Vortex site at Kings Island due to its unique flying experience, visual appeal, and ability to utilise the terrain and space for dramatic near-miss elements. Wing coasters are known for their seats being positioned beside the track rather than above or below, creating an open-air weightless sensation. This layout would suit the sprawling and visual prominent area once occupied by the Vortex roller coaster, bringing a high-profile coaster to the park's skyline. These types of rides are eye-catching with their wide spread-out trains and riders sitting off the track, and with this setup making them highly visible from afar, honouring Vortex's legacy as a visually iconic coaster. The former Vortex site is centrally located and very visible from various parts of the park, making it ideal for a ride that provides both aesthetic appeal and spectator value. They're ideal for near-miss elements like tunnels, structures and close passes with the ground, and the Vortex site has ample room to incorporate these elements, creating an immersive experience with visual and physical interactions. These near misses would evoke a sense of danger and excitement without relying on inversions or rapid directional changes. A wing coaster would capture the spirit of the fallen Vortex, with its unique ride elements and open-air thrills, making it a valuable addition that combines history, novelty, and excitement. The layout of a wing coaster can provide some very interesting elements. The 180-degree twisted dive drop, starting a steep twisting drop at the start of the ride, would give riders the adrenaline-packed kickoff while taking advantage of the site's topography. The coaster could plunge riders down towards the ground, providing a visually striking start and a quick burst of speed. A wing coaster staple, a zero-G roll, would offer a graceful floating sensation that takes advantage of the wide spread-out seats. This element is highly effective in the open-air seats of a wing coaster, emphasising the feeling of weightlessness. Theming the station could be a great nod to Vortex or a completely new theme unique to the wing coaster's design. With interactive theming and a pre-launch story experience such as the Copperhead Strike first launch at Carowinds, guests would be fully immersed before even boarding. Now, in terms of a manufacturer, the industry leader is Bolliger and Mabillard. The industry leader in wing coasters has created some iconic winged rides in the past, like Gatekeeper at Cedar Point or the Swarm right here in the UK at Thorpe Park Resort. Known for its smooth, reliable rides with high capacity, Bolliger and Mabillard could bring a world-class wing coaster to Kings Island that combines thrilling elements with a comfortable experience in an atmospheric setting. Now, option number 2 is a multi-launch coaster, which uses several magnetic launch points instead of a traditional lift hill, delivering multiple bursts of speed throughout the ride. These coasters can incorporate a mix of inversions, airtime and directional changes, providing a highly dynamic and thrilling ride experience. This type would allow Kings Island to fill a gap in their lineup by offering a modern thrilling launch coaster. The Vortex site is filled with elevation changes, dips and valleys that a multi-launch coaster could take advantage of. This terrain would enhance the ride's layout, making the launches feel more dramatic as they propel riders through dips and over hills. It brings variety, combining launches, airtime hills, tight turns and potentially inversions. This would add a fresh experience to Kings Island's lineup, especially with the mix of smooth launches, directional changes and thrilling elements. A multi-launch coaster on the Vortex site would give Kings Island an innovative, exciting ride that balances thrill, visual appeal, and a connection to the park's storied past. Vortex was iconic for its inversions and multi-element experience. A multi-launch roller coaster could offer similar thrills, with features like corkscrews, loops, and intense turns while maintaining a smoother, more modern ride experience. It would appeal to both thrill seekers and those looking for an exciting, re-rideable attraction. With several thrilling launches and innovative ride layout, this addition would introduce a totally new coaster experience to Kings Island's lineup, setting it apart from the park's traditional lift hill roller coasters such as the Beast and Orion. Now, in terms of potential elements on a multi-launch coaster, a dual or even a triple launch could be ideal. A defining feature of this type of ride is the multiple acceleration points. A launch section that propels riders forward, slows them down, and then boosts them again would maximise the thrill without needing a high lift hill. This could even be positioned along the former Vortex's initial drop area, utilising the slight elevation to create a more impactful launch. Now, if you are going to go with a triple launch, you could even include a vertical spike. Now, this vertical spike could act as a launch reversal point where riders are propelled backwards briefly. We can see that on rides such as Pantheon at Busch Gardens Williamsburg or Toutalis at Parc Asterix in France. Airtime hills provide short bursts of weightlessness, while wave turns or banked airtime hills add variety to the layout. These would deliver a mix of ejector and floater airtime, creating a varied pacing and thrilling moments for riders. Now, of course, you can see these banked airtime or hills or wave turns on rides such as Condor at the Wallaby Parks in Europe. Now then, a top hat element could be a vertical ascent with glory, followed by a sharp drop down to the abyss, providing a mix of airtime and a breathtaking view before plummeting back down. This element could be a very thrilling element to the ride, and could definitely give the ride something different and unique for the area. To pay homage to the iconic inversions on Vortex, a corkscrew or dive loop could be integrated into the layout. A corkscrew would create a rapid twisting sensation, whilst a dive loop would add intensity with a sweeping half loop followed by a half twist. Now, of course, there are multiple manufacturers for this type of roller coaster. Mack Rides is the big one for me. Now, they're known for their smooth, reliable multi-launch roller coasters, creating popular attractions such as Copperhead Strike at Carowinds or Icon here in the UK at Blackpool Pleasure Beach. Mack Rides roller coasters are known for blending launches, inversions and airtime smoothly whilst creating innovative, creative ride experiences for the whole thrill-seeker market. Intamin, however, are also renowned for creating high-intensity, thrilling multi-launch coasters such as Pantheon and Taron at Phantasialand in Germany. Their rides tend to have rapid transitions and powerful launches that would perfectly complement the Vortex site's terrain. Intamin is a world-class manufacturer and deserve the chance to shine their talents on the Kings Island stage. Now, here's an underdog for potential manufacturer, Vekoma. The new generation multi-launch coaster, smooth, highly customizable, and offer varied elements. They've created standout rides in the past, such as Top Gun in Vietnam or the Let Coaster in Poland. They could provide a compact but intense layout that would fit well in the location of the former Vortex roller coaster. I do like the idea of Vekoma, a unique choice with a lot of impact. So what is next for the iconic Vortex site at Kings Island? While we wait for official announcements, one thing is for certain. The park is committed to developing and delivering unforgettable experiences that honour its rich history while embracing the future. Whether you're a die-hard coaster enthusiast or you just love a day of family fun, the new developments at Kings Island are sure to thrill. So that is it for another update here on Chal Chats from the Vortex site at Kings Island. Is this just the start of a series of videos that we'll be producing for the next couple of years for a brand new project at the park? We're going to have to stay tuned to that one, but we're going to keep our eyes firmly peeled on any more updates surrounding the plot of land of the former Vortex ride. We are going to keep tuned to it. We are going to keep our eyes on it. Make sure you stay tuned for more updates in the future. I love the idea of a multi-launch coaster, but I also think a wing coaster could be a really good addition to the park. Make sure you stay tuned, and for now, I'm the CHALL. Ta-ra for now, and that is the end of your theme park experience.